Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some NBA action this Wednesday evening. The Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Golden State Warriors. SGA versus Steph Curry. We are just about to wrap up the Denver Nuggets and the New York Knicks. Knicks have a comfortable 10-point lead with less than a minute to go. And again, this should be a pretty good matchup. Steph Curry was a game time decision, but I'm happy that he's going to be out there. And again, we're going to grind it out with some of these NBA streams. Tomorrow, we're going to do the Kraken going against the San Jose Sharks at 7:30 Pacific. Then on Friday evening, I haven't really decided what we're going to do there. And then on Saturday, we have WWE Royal Rumble. Let's go, baby. All right, let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get settled in for a couple hours of some NBA action. Let's get it. And on the thumb, on the left, arguably the best player in the NBA right now. I mean, there's a lot of great players in the NBA, but off the dribble, SGA, Anthony Edwards, obviously Jokic. I mean, you got many, many guys that you could kind of put at the top. But I think that right now, for me and my dollar, SGA is probably the most entertaining player in the NBA, in my opinion. And on the right, you got the best natural shooter the game has ever seen, has made waves, not only with the players that are around his age, but obviously the youth movement as well. Everyone shooting threes. It is Steph Curry. And I think this thumbnail turned out pretty fucking fire. Got the Golden Gate Bridge there in the background. Let's go. Sarah in the building. What's good? Yeah, no worries. Like I said, anytime I end up doing streams, at 7 or 7:30 Pacific, I understand that some people are not going to be able to stay, the whole way through, especially if it's already, 9 o'clock or 9:30 in the Midwest or 10 or 10:30. But again, I wanted to possibly do like an NFL freestyle stream, but there just unfortunately isn't enough news to do a stream, based off NFL news and whatnot, because there really isn't any. So again, we're probably going to have to wait for the Saints, to wrap up the Super Bowl with the Eagles and the Chiefs before they make their hire. More than likely, it'll be Kellen Moore. If I had to put money on it, I would say that's probably 90% chance of where they're going to go, since everyone else doesn't want anything to do with that particular franchise. Final score, Knicks 122, Nuggets 112. And again, if you don't watch a whole lot of NBA, Jalen Brunson has been fantastic in New York. He's definitely one of the more underrated players in the NBA. And then obviously with Denver, they got Russell Westbrook over there and a lot of good role players. Jokic is great, but the Knicks are victorious here at Madison Square Garden once again. And again, if you can keep track of the likes, we'll be shooting for 20, obviously within the first hour, 30 to 50 if we get volume, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Oh, okay. 30 points, 15 assists for Jalen Brunson, for a player that I think a lot of people kind of took for granted early in his career. Definitely has found a space there in New York, and the fans love him. And we got multiple camera angles like we were going to do yesterday as well. So obviously we'll have the stat page up, scoreboard there, and then obviously we'll be big here for a chunk of the stream, and we'll kind of be flipping back and forth. And hopefully this will end up being a pretty entertaining matchup. This was, to me, the most entertaining matchup, based off the slate. There really wasn't a whole lot to work with on the NBA slate today or the NHL. So I figured instead of just doing nothing, this would be the way to go. We'll do the Kraken. Obviously, tomorrow they decided to release Grew. If you give up 3, 4, 5 goals almost on the daily, at some point the organization is going to have to make a move. And They must have heard the broadcast here last night. But again, Gru is out, and we're going to have to figure out if we're going to have another, backup to Joey Decord, maybe from the Coachella Firebirds. But definitely getting good goalie play will be ideal. But Decord, I would assume, will be a net tomorrow. Yeah, I've been watching a little bit of the Senior Bowl practice. Obviously, that was on, earlier in the morning and the afternoon. Just kind of getting, some ideas of some of these players. Really, the main story I feel is, Jalen Milroe. Obviously, his stock is going down the shitter. It seems like a lot of times, the Senior Bowl is a good opportunity at practice and in the games to be able to get your stock higher. Unfortunately for him, he might be the first player in the last 5 or 10 years that's kind of a notable name that is doing really, really bad. And again, he was already a project QB to begin with, but definitely not helping his stock whatsoever there at the Senior Bowl. But for others, you're definitely getting some offensive linemen, defensive linemen that are imposing their wills, and you're definitely going to get some good quarterback, running back, and wide receiver play. We'll see what Dylan Gabriel and Tez Johnson and a lot of the others end up doing in the Senior Bowl. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to grind it out, but I might, do the Senior Bowl and then also do Royal Rumble. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough time or energy to do both. Even though Royal Rumble will be more like reactions where I don't really have to do like a play-by-play, but I usually do the Senior Bowl. Tomorrow, East-West Shrine game, which isn't as good as the Senior Bowl. I'll watch that tomorrow at 5 and, soak that in. We'll do the Kraken stream tomorrow night. And then Friday, not too sure, maybe an NFL, stream, that we can just do like a Q&A or something. And then Saturday will be Royal Rumble and the Senior Bowl. SGA, 3-time All-Star, on pace to be the first player in OKC history, 35-5 seasons. Steph Curry, 4-time NBA champion, leads the NBA in three-point field goals per game, 4.3, and free throw percentage, 93%. And obviously, we're going to have a tip-off here in about 9 minutes. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. Ready for SGA to put up 30, 40, 50 tonight. And hopefully he does. Fantastic player off the dribble, can do it all, shoot threes, hit jumpers. There's nothing really a weakness in his game. And then obviously we got Steph Curry. We already know the chef will be cooking at some point or another. Game time decision with a lingering injury, but we'll kind of wait and see how it all plays out. Hopefully we can get some of the OGs and the regulars to come through. And I hope that Golden State at home, no Draymond Green tonight, obviously. He's still injured, but Steph playing definitely gives them a better chance to, put on a show for the fans at home. But, even with no Chet Holmgren, the Thunder, they look like they could win the championship this year and end up making an NBA Finals appearance. I would be shocked if the Thunder don't make the Western Conference Finals. It's like almost a given. And Cleveland has been great. Boston has been good as well in the Eastern Conference, but definitely wanting to get a little bit more eyes, on these two teams as we're moving forward. And again, as we see Donovan Mitchell there on the screen, rebound dunk by the Cavs. But it just seems like every time I see the Cavs match up, with OKC, Donovan Mitchell just doesn't have a good game. Like, for them to be able to beat the Thunder or to, try to do the unthinkable and win it all, we need to see a little bit more consistency there. But definitely excited to be able to see SGA tonight and Steph Curry. Wish Draymond was playing. Wish Chet Holmgren was playing. But again, best game of the slate today. We'll do Kraken and the Sharks tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific. NFL stream, kind of a freestyle stream on Friday. And then we got the Senior Bowl and Royal Rumble on Saturday. Let's go. Obviously, we got everything situated and ready. Let's go, baby. Hopefully, Captain will be able to come through, and because I know, obviously, he loves watching the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously previously a Sonic fan and kind of carried over with this OKC branding. So hopefully we'll be able to have him and a few other Thunder and Warrior fans in the building. And we've been gaining some good subs in the late 2024, early 2025 window. So I'm definitely excited about that. And now we just have to kind of wait for everyone to get settled in with all the warm-ups, and we'll be ready to go. Now, I did see that Triple H going to the WWE Hall of Fame. Olympic gold medal, little ring action there. Yeah, and that's what I love about the Thunder, is defense. And they're the number one team in the NBA in defense. So that shows me that they're going to show effort with, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, boxing out, getting charges, sliding on the floor for loose balls, blocking shots, and ultimately if you have a great scoring team that also defends great, then you end up getting the best team in the NBA, in my opinion, which is the Oklahoma City Thunder. 37-8, 17-5 on the road, and they've been able to get a lot of these dubs without Chet Holmgren. So if Chet comes back and he's healthy, I really don't see that many teams that can be that competitive with the Thunder. Now, there definitely will be few as we go into the playoff push, and once we get in the playoffs, upsets do happen. But there is a possibility of Thunder Cavs, Thunder Celtics. That could definitely be one of the matchups, obviously, in the NBA Finals this year. Yeah, it's been a little cold out here in the Pacific Northwest here in Oregon. It hasn't really warmed up, and I did see in the weather report, snow is on the horizon for us. Now, nothing like what you guys get like in the Midwest or in the East Coast, but right now it's 35, and based on the schedule, we're supposed to get snow on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, a break on Tuesday, and then a rain-snow mix on Wednesday and Thursday next week. So that's a lot, for us here in Oregon. Captain in the building, what's good? I did this game for you specifically. Glad that you're here. Hope you like the thumbnail. I was thinking about you when I was making it. Hopefully, that turned out the way that I thought it was. You got the Golden Gate Bridge, obviously, there in the background. We got a little Steph Curry. We got SGA. And again, I promised, like I said, once the NFL and college football season starts to wrap up, I can definitely show my versatility. I can do NBA, I can do NHL, I can do NASCAR, I can do WWE, I can do AEW. I mean, even though we don't regularly stream the NBA or the NHL, I'm always, every day, keeping up on the standings, who's doing good, who's doing shitty. And again, I think that this one will be a good one. And again, Steph Curry playing makes it a little bit more exciting because he was a game time decision. And hopefully you loved the thumb. Glad that you're here. And again, hopefully this will be good here tonight. I expect the Thunder to win, but hopefully Steph Curry can, shoot the lights out. Score 30, 40, 50, just like SGA today, and they can kind of, cancel each other out, and then we'll see what other role players will step up for the Thunder. Obviously, they have a deeper team, the number one team in defense, and you know how much I love defense. And again, besides the Blazers, to me, the most exciting team to watch is the Thunder. Now, I like watching the Cavs, when they come on from time to time here on the West Coast. I can watch certain players like Jokic. I can watch the Celtics with Tatum and Brown. There's certain teams that obviously are easier to watch than others. I mean, I guess if I was forced to, I could sit there and watch old ass LeBron. But, the Blazers right now, even though they're incredibly young, second youngest team in the NBA, they were 5-1 in the last 6 games. And I know for some people, they're like, who fucking cares? I get it. Our team is bottom 5. We're not very good. But as of late, we've been playing pretty good. And to be able to beat Milwaukee and sweep them, in Milwaukee a couple weeks ago, and then last night beating them by 10, with Dame and Giannis both going off, I think that says something, with Denny and Scoot. Like, we have a lot of young players, Anthony Simons, and obviously, getting Klingon from UConn in the draft. Like, I feel that, even though our record says we're not good, We are the best, worst team in the NBA, and I feel just a couple more pieces, whether that be Cooper Flag or some free agents. I think the Blazers, could be a playoff team in a couple years, maybe as early as next year. But again, I think that we have good players. It's just a matter of we don't play defense and we don't have any toughness. Donovan Clingan is our toughest player, and he's a fucking rookie. So. And that's why I like being able to watch the Thunder, so that way I can kind of get an idea of the type of players that the Blazers possibly could be looking at moving forward. Because, again, defense shows effort, and not many people in the NBA play defense nowadays. Daniel in the building, what's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. If you can help out with that, Sarah and Captain, for as long as you guys are here. I know Sarah said she might be dipping a little bit early, but hopefully we can get to 20 likes on the stream, which I think will be doable. And then again, we'll be trying to shoot for 100 in the donos on every single stream. 37-8 OKC. Then you got Houston, Memphis, Denver, the Lakers, the Clippers, Minnesota, Phoenix in the top 8, and then Dallas, Sacramento, Golden State, San Antonio with Wemby and Portland. Yeah, I mean, but she already did, the contest with Sabrina and whatnot. So it's like, sometimes they just want to be able to relax. And again, if you end up signing up to do something like that, you have responsibilities with like promo photos and, extra, interviews. And I guess, sometimes when you're a superstar and, it's not the WNBA All-Star game, this is for the NBA. So it's just kind of like a gimmick thing to try to get some of the female shooters to participate and to try to grow the game and whatnot. But, I don't fault her. Again, it's like if Sabrina does it one year and doesn't do the next year, I don't think it's not that big of a deal. But again, they just need to go back to the old formats, rookie, sophomore game, and not doing a bunch of teams of 3 or 4 and this like round robin tournament. Stupid. Even doing USA versus international, was better for like rookie, sophomore game. Then obviously the 3-point contest, skill competition, dunk contest, that will still be exciting, but they don't always have the best participants involved in that, especially in the dunk contest. 3-point contest and skills competition is pretty good, but the dunk never has the best dunkers in it, right? No disrespect to Mac McClung and Little Mac and anyone else, but it's been a minute since we've actually had some, people that I'm used to growing up and watching, like Jordan and Clyde, going at it back in the 80s and the 90s, or watching someone like Vince Carter and whatnot. But and then the All-Star game, no defense whatsoever. I just wish that like Kobe was still alive, because I think that he would be someone that the players would actually listen to. And I think that if the NBA ever got to a point where they had some kind of, big thing, like, whatever team wins, that team gets home court advantage in the finals or whatever, and an additional $5 million or $1 million for each participant that wins, whatever that they need to do, charity or whatnot. And the game ended up being in the All-Star game like 110, 108. I think people would love that rather than just 190 to 170 and no one plays fucking D. So, floater and an early foul by the Warriors. A little push there. Daniel in the building, what's good? Yeah, nice to be able to see the Blazers, step up and actually, be able to be respectable. And I like them. They're fun, But it's taken a little bit after the Dame trade transition or, Dame moving on, for us to get kind of comfortable with this team. Thunder there at the top of the key. Reach in, no foul called, and then out of bounds. Still knotted up here at 0. Hartenstein is good. Appreciate that, Daniel. Every dollar counts, man. Appreciate you. What do you want to see for a photo? You got a favorite NBA player, past or present? I got you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 2:98 to go. Let's get a dono train going, baby. 2-0 Warriors. Curry with both of those free throws. SGA for 3, no good. And obviously, Steph is going to be incredibly aggressive. Almost had the and one on that previous play. You're a Laker fan, Daniel? Yeah, 23-23 is what the Warriors' record is. So, I mean, they haven't been too good this season. Draymond Green injured, 13-12 at home. And then obviously the Thunder, the best team in the NBA, 37-8, 17-6 on the road. Or 17-5. I appreciate that. It was a good win. You know, again, beating Giannis and beating Dame, like no one gives the Blazers a fucking chance. Like even if we were a playoff team and we were a top 8 seed, no one would give us a chance. Even if we were a top 5 seed, no one would give us a chance. So that was pretty cool. Definitely had some friends and people that I know that were there last night, and Dame got a big ovation. So that's always nice to be able to see. He'll never get booed. Out of bounds. Still knotted up 2-0 here. But if you want some like Kobe photos, I can get that for you if you'd like. Steph at the top of the key. Deep three by Steph. No good. See if we'll get a little pick and roll action here. Get the ball to SGA. Mid-range jumper, no good. 0 for 5 start for the Thunder, and that is very rare, Captain. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. We're at 7. 93 to go. Appreciate you guys, and I'll get photos once we go into like a little commercial break here. Deep three. So, Daniel, what would you like, man? You want some Kobe? You want some Shaq? And then, Captain, I got you already right here. You want to see some SGA? I got you, baby. Wiggins. It's been free throws so far, for the most part. Thunder finally on the board. Look at the Thunder defensive rankings. First. I mean, that's why I feel not only that, and you got SGA, who's one of the best players in the NBA overall. I mean, you got Anthony Edwards, and you got Jokic, you got the Joker. You got a lot of guys that have definitely, made names for themselves. Normally, when Luka isn't injured, you'll hear more of his name being kind of shouted by NBA fans. 4-3 Warriors. Nice to see OKC finally get going. Nice one. I see SGA. There we go. Finally taking the lead. Jalen Williams. 5-4 Thunder. And even though they started off 0-5, no fucking worries. All right, let me get the photos up here. I'll put that up there so everyone can keep track with these stats as I'm doing these photos for the donos. One of my favorite photos that I got overall is actually a Kobe photo. And, being a Blazer fan, we definitely, had issues with Kobe because he was so good against us. But again, after, kind of time passed, and then especially when he retired, I think a lot of Blazer fans stopped hating him and started really admiring him and his greatness, because it's not like he killed just the Blazers. He killed everybody. Oh, big flush. But I love this photo here. Early Kobe in the 8. Eight, 6 Warriors. So I can get this other Kobe one up here for you guys. Eight Kobe was dope. 24 Kobe was dope. Peyton, I see you. We're not up at 8. Yeah, and that's understandable. Again, we already know Durant and LeBron were the top 2 players for years and years and years. But again, when you jump ship, from one team to the next, sometimes it's hard to keep rooting, for a guy. And now, if you really think about it, you end up getting a guy that was just like a Kevin Durant, as dominant as a Kevin Durant in SGA, and probably a little bit more likable, if we're being honest. I mean, I don't think there's really anything bad you could say, about SGA, but with Durant, never really played defense. Obviously, everyone knows he's a great shooter, but you just never really saw the full effort out of Durant, like as an overall player. And I know for a lot of us, if you don't play defense or you're lazy, even if you can score 30, 40, 50, that's not going to be everyone's favorite type of player. So 13-8 Thunder. Woo! Okay. Floater. Hartenstein. Oh, my. In and out and no good. I like the Thunder starting off 0-5. And again, the number 1 team on defense, it doesn't matter. They could start off the game 0-10. You already know that defensive prowess is going to force turnovers, and eventually they're going to get hot. And, even if they end up being down 5-6-0 in a blink of an eye, it's just like nothing. I mean, it's crazy how good the Thunder is this year. Like I said, they definitely remind me of a championship caliber team, especially being number 1 on defense on like fucking 8 categories. Go, baby, push. SGA, top of the key. For 3 and no foul call? Wow. No foul call on that deep 3? Unbelievable. Rejected on the other side of the floor. Unbelievable. SGA again. And then a reach-in foul there. Where was the foul for the SGA 3? Unbelievable. And again, I haven't seen too many teams that, as soon as they force a big play off a steal or a block, it's like 90% chance that they score on that next play. Like whether it's a 3 in transition or an easy dunk or an alley-oop, they're so not selfish. And typically when you got a superstar player like SGA, once the ball goes to him, it just disappears, but that's not the case. He actually looks for the teammates, and that's what is very encouraging about this Thunder team. Superstar player, SGA, number 1 in defense in 8, 9, 10 categories, and they don't even have Chet Holmgren playing right now because he's hurt. He's been hurt almost the whole year, right? And they got the best record in the NBA. They are fun. Buddy Hield trying to get that pass, and they're stolen by the Thunder. Yeah, I like mine are like I like Shaedon Sharpe. I like Shaedon Sharpe. I like Scoot. I like everyone on the team, but I like Shaedon Sharpe. I like Scoot, and I like Donovan Clingan. So I would probably go Shaedon Sharpe as my 1, Clingan is my 2, Scoot is my 3. But then there's all these other players on the team that I like Simons and Jeremy Grant, and and I really like Denny a lot as well. Denny is probably up there for me, as he's the best overall player on the team. Steph for 3, but there was a foul there. But I would say, yeah, I'd probably go Shaedon Sharpe, probably 1. And it's close. I mean, it's tough. Shaedon Sharpe probably 1, and then Denny 2, right there with Clingan, and then Scoot right after them. But I mean, like I said, I don't really have anyone on the roster I don't like, which is kind of rare. And then again, we were talking about the Kraken last night with everyone here, with Captain and Sarah and Megan, and we were talking about how shitty he was doing, giving up 5 goals in 2 periods, and then they finally fucking cut him this morning. They must have heard all the displeasure from all the Kraken fans. Enough is enough. And, so we're going to move on and probably have to bring up someone from Coachella, the Firebirds, kind of the affiliate to them. Don't know how that will go, but, we'll kind of wait and see. Yeah, and again, you can always be a ring chaser, and there's no loyalty anymore. Again, back in the 80s and 90s, it was much different. But again, based on when you ring hop and you chase, your legacy is a little bit tarnished, compared to if you end up staying in a place and winning, in one place and staying there and being loyal. That means like a little bit more to certain NBA fans, including myself. I get it, trying to join a super team. But sometimes, if you can, have a team built around you good enough with good ownership and good supporting cast, and you can win it, on your own, I think it says a lot more about that person rather than just trying to take the easy way out. Because Durant is good enough to win. Like, hell, if you really think about it, when they had James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant on the Thunder, right? If they were able to not all have fucking egos the size of the goddamn moon, right? If all three's egos could be like put in check, Harden, Westbrook, and Durant, how many titles could they have won? They probably would have went to a couple NBA finals. There's no guarantee that they would have won every time that they got there, but it's probably safe to say if those three guys played a good chunk of their careers together, let's say 10 years before they all started going to different teams, that they probably could have went to at least two finals, won one, lost one. I think that's fair to say. Or who knows, maybe they would have won both. But again, definitely something that I know a lot of NBA fans wished would have happened. But the same thing I can say for Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Greg Oden. Like, what could have been? But, it is what it is. Anything else you want to be able to see besides SGA, Captain? You let me know. I'm going to throw up another Kobe up here real quick. See if I can squeeze it in. And I think out of like a lot of the, because when I was young, I was a sneakerhead, right? And I feel like, there's a lot of people that had shoes, and I had so many of them. I had the, black leather Jordans, the black on black red bottom. I was like the only one in my school that had that particular shoe. That's probably my favorite Jordan that has ever been made. But I had the Penny Hardaways, the Air Pennies 1 and 2. I had the Grant Hill Fila's. I had the Jason Kidd Air Zooms. So, for me, like if I like a player or I like the shoe and I think it's stylish, regardless on brand, even like Fila or whatever, like, I was about it, right? But I feel like I never owned any Kobe's, but again, I feel like his stuff, very stylish, but again, it all really depends on, who you fuck with in the shoe game. Are you a LeBron guy? Are you a Jordan guy? Are you a KD guy? Lots of KDs out there. Are you a Kobe guy? Or is there just, something else that you like? 1913 Thunder. Sure, we can do that. From Bird, you know how much I love Bird. One of my favorites of all time. I remember when I sold Mitchell and Ness jerseys at the very beginning of the internet. It was from a place in Nolens, and then as time went on, things happened there. Obviously, we know with like storms and hurricanes and whatnot. But I remember when I started buying, Mitchell and Ness stuff and then flipping it on eBay and making a profit. The first jersey I ended up getting in my bundle was Larry Bird white sewn jersey from like '86 Mitchell and Ness. Incredible jersey. One of my favorites till this day is that white Larry Bird sewn Mitchell and Ness. SGA, unbelievable. Off the dribble, SGA is the best player in the NBA off the dribble. Not JT in the building. What's good? 21-13 Thunder. Curry. Little pick and roll here from the Thunder. And just the state of the NBA also. One reason I like the Thunder because they're the number one, defensive team in the NBA. But they don't have to shoot fucking 30, 40, 50, 63s. Now, is there games where the Thunder, will have a game where maybe they put up a shitload of threes like everybody else? Yeah, but they don't need to. They realize they can end up getting easier, higher percentage shots with SGA off the dribble, going to the rim, drawing fouls. And again, they'll shoot jumpers at the top of the key and on the corners of the free throw line. They're going to take open threes, and there's no one bitching about that. But it's just like you don't want everyone shooting threes, and it just gets a little ridiculous. And I think it's really hurt the game. Steph Curry, obviously, injected this pulse of everyone thinking they're him. And, whether you're 5 years old or, you're 50, everyone thinks they can shoot threes now. And that definitely has transcended into the NBA, which is one bad thing for, arguably the best shooter of all time. He's has his accomplishments, over like Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, but he definitely influenced the game in the most negative way possible with no defense and everyone shooting threes. What a flush. SGA, baby. Let's go. He's fucking nicey. He's nice. And again, I know the Thunder's in the Western Conference, and as a Blazer fan, I should hate the Warriors. I should hate the Thunder. I should hate the Lakers. But again, I'm always going to be a fan of effort and defense, in any sport, and just effort in general. That's a charge, motherfucker. Oh my God. Really? Mooney goes down. Yeah, that's when Luka's healthy, and now they got Kyrie there, so. But this is definitely the deepest team the Thunder, have ever had. Even, as far as they had Harden, they had Westbrook, they had Kevin Durant, and all of those guys have had, great careers. This team is built differently. Instead of just superstar scoring power, it's well-rounded, and it's really, really good at defense, almost comparing the Thunder to a Chief or Eagle NFL team. They're very well balanced. They have their superstar, but it's anyone on any given night could step up other than SGA. And again, the thing that makes them so scary to me is that arguably their second or third best player overall hasn't even fucking been playing because he's been hurt, Chet Holmgren, who's kind of like the white Wemby. He's got tall, lanky arms and legs. But again, when you get a guy like Wemby or Chet, again, they can take over a game in many, many ways. Push off in the back there. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, obviously, I'm a Blazer fan through and through. You know that. Colt in the building. How are you, man? Good to see you and not JT in the building. Matt in the building. What's good? How are you guys? And I know, again, NBA might not be for everyone. But again, when you work every day and this is the dream, you have to be able to do filler streams. There's not very many people that stream fucking every day. So we got to be able to, fill in with some NBA, some NHL, NASCAR, WWE. But also it gives an opportunity for newbies and the OGs to recognize, this is the most versatile channel, on YouTube. There's not very many that can do everything and with ease and with comfort, but it takes a lot of reading and film, and just being a fanatic, to be able to go out of your way to keep up with other teams and the leagues in general. Big lead right now, and I love what I'm seeing. They were fucking 0 for 5 to start this game. And again, number one in 8-9 different categories in defense. And again, I don't think we've seen that. I mean, the last time we've seen a team number one in every fucking defensive category known to man is maybe the Pistons back in the day. And we're not talking about the bad boy era, but we're talking about Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, right? Going into that era, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Tayshaun Prince, your boy remembers. That team, was a team, literally to the term. Floater is good. That's the last time that we've actually seen a team that didn't really have a superstar. Biggest name, maybe Rasheed Wallace at the time, but again, Ben Wallace, defensive prowess. Rasheed could shoot threes and play defense. Tayshaun was that smooth, silky player that kind of reminded you of Pippen, but a lefty and not as good. And then obviously with Rip and Chauncey, they could play offense, they could play defense. They were like the Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars of that generation. But it's pretty rare to see a team that actually enjoys blocking shots, taking charges, diving on the floor. But again, it takes a special team for me to be able to kind of hoot and holler for. And this Thunder team is it. I really like this team, and it would be shocking to me if they don't make it to the Western Conference Finals, let alone win the West. But I think they can win it this year. Because, again, I think the Cavs are good and the Celtics are good, but the Thunder are better, period. There's nothing that those other teams have that the Thunder don't. Like, okay, they got Donovan Mitchell, and we've got Darius Garland. Oh, okay. All right, yeah, we got SGA, we got Chet Holmgren, okay. You got Tatum and Brown. That's cool, right? But it doesn't feel like the Celtics are as good as they were in their championship run. They're good, and they can still represent the East, but I don't think they're good enough to win it all. Now it depends on if the Thunder get eliminated, and if it's like Celtics and some other team, then yes, you can win it all. But I feel like if the Thunder are in the finals, they should be able to win it all this year. It feels like as long as they don't have any injuries, knock on wood, to SGA. Hopefully Chet will come back at some point. And as far as the role players, you need to have everyone stay as healthy as they possibly can. But 25-16, started off the game 0 for 5, no fucking problem. It's impressive. Fuck yeah, I am. I saw that NASCAR's got a fucking channel on Tubi. I don't got no goddamn Tubi, but I was like, man, I imagine they got like races on there, like old school ones. FS1 will always show like greatest races, like late at night after I'm done streaming. So if I'm like hanging out with the Paisley Pop, going for a walk or eating dinner, and I can see an old school race from like the 90s or the early 2000s with like Jimmy and Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt and Tony Stewart. I'm like, fuck yeah, and the Fox broadcasts were way better back then than they are now. Yeah, definitely Cleveland would be my number 2 right now. I mean, like, obviously not just based off record. The thing that worries me about Cleveland is that, at least when they play the Thunder, Donovan Mitchell never steps up. It's like every game that they play, they may win one and they may lose one like they did this year, right? But in the win, Mitchell didn't really do anything. And in the loss at home a few days back when I watched it, you guys blew them out by like 20, 30 points. And again, another good game. And, if you're going to be one of those guys that's going to be considered one of the best players in the NBA top 10, you got to play like a top 5 player against the best teams in the NBA. You just can't be good against all the dog shit teams. And then you end up playing a team that's as good as you, Thunder, Cavs. And then all of a sudden when we see Mitchell, he doesn't do what SGA does. Like, I need to be able to see some more consistency. So until I see Donovan Mitchell play good and elite against everyone, I'm going to have the Thunder ahead of them. And not only that, the defense, is good for the Cavs. I think it's probably second best, eye test wise. I'll have to look at what the PFF and the other records are. But by far, the Thunder are the best team in the NBA defensively. And nothing you can tell me on the Cavs would make me want to switch from them to the Thunder. As long as injuries don't pile up, this is the team that should be favored to go all the way. Fucking SGA is ridiculous with the left. Fuck out of here, man. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. What you know about this? The most exciting player. Yeah, Anthony Edwards, he's exciting. Joker's exciting. Luka's exciting. But to me, this is the next big thing. They thought, it was going to be Zion. Oh, motherfucker was eating too many hamburgers and got fat and always gets hurt. Oh, Joel Embiid only plays 50% of his fucking games. Yeah, he might be the closest thing to David Robinson and Hakeem Olajuwon and those old school centers like Shaq in that era and David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. But that motherfucker gets hurt way too much. I mean, he's got like unlimited PTO. They had a graphic today where he's played like 470, 80 games and he's missed 400. Like, he literally is like only played half the games. I mean, that's better than Greg Oden, but goddamn. Crazy. SGA, though, 7th season. And typically, if you look at players in their prime, if you have a Hall of Fame player, typically in the NBA, guys will hit their prime from year 6 through like usually 9 or 10. If they play like a 20-year career, 15 to 20, like, they're learning the game the first 4 years. And then usually when they get to year 5, 6, it really starts to click. And then they end up having their best years, year 5 through 10. And then it's just like crazy. And then obviously if they're a goated and they're like a Hall of Famer, then that continues in year 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, until you get to like maybe the last 2 or 3 years of your career. And there's a little bit of a drop off. But SGA kind of reminds me of a player that I could be a fan of in the 80s or the 90s. He's got the Iverson swag. And again, he gives you, kind of vibes of different players, but he's definitely fucking special. And for me being a Blazer fan, this is my favorite player in the NBA that's not on the Blazers. (31-20) Thunder. Oh my. Down low, layup is good. Oh shit, Matt Payton on the Reese's Puffs. Watch out. A stoner's dream. Reese's Puffs are so good that you could literally eat the whole box. And, obviously that's not something that, depending on if you're buying it or if someone else is buying it, but, don't be ashamed. Even if you, get rid of a family size Reese's Puff box. I mean, that could be done in a sitting, man. (34-20) Thunder. Quarter winding down. Wow. So unselfish, man. Incredible. Airball 3 and then out of bounds. Thunderball with a 14-point lead. Started off the game 0-5. No fucking problem. Oh, there's a lot of stuff from my childhood I miss, man. Squeeze-Its, Shark Bites. I mean, so many of the fucking Kudos bars, all the good snacks. The snacks that we had in like me and Sarah's era back in the day, you would be like, oh my God. Like the flavors and the stuff that they had. I mean, food was so much different back in the 80s and 90s than it is now. End of the first quarter, 34-20 Thunder, and this is why I'm here, to soak in SGA's greatness. Doesn't matter if he's at home or on the road. Feels like sometimes when he's on the road, he's even more focused than he's at home. Like, I know he can put up 30, 40, 50 at home, but just being like, okay, we're on the road. I need to be able to, set the tone. I don't need to shoot every time, but good unselfishness. 34-20 Thunder. Hey, Steph Curry. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. It's like watching a movie. That's how good he is. She said Dunkaroos. Yeah. And I missed watching NBA games on NBC with the theme song. Like, there was nothing that got you more hyped for fucking NBA when you heard that theme song on NBC. And then NBA Inside Stuff, love that. Like, there's so many memories, it just depends on, what you remember. But for me, it was a lot of Saved by the Bell and a lot of NBA. Like, and again, I've said this, many times on the channel, the NBA used to be my fucking favorite. Like, I loved Ken Griffey Jr. and the Mariners. I love football with like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. Like, there's a lot of things that I fucking love. Mario Lemieux, right? Wayne Gretzky, like, there was always, awesome things to be able to watch. Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, Ultimate Warrior and Hogan, and, it goes on and on and on, but man, it was something else. It's crazy too, because I can almost, like, I don't know, like the Matrix, like I can almost like kind of remember the taste. Like, if for whatever reason, I was able to get my hands on one of those things without it being like so expired that it's going to taste terrible. But like I can, like a time machine and just like, oh, the flavors and how good those things used to be. The snack game is not the same. Things are not the same. I mean, again, 80s and 90s was undefeated. If you grew up in that era, because it was before the internet and before really video games took off. And now where we are with video games and technology and the internet, and then just everything. Wrestling better, basketball, baseball, football, wrestling. I mean, crazy stuff. 34-20, Thunder. Hell yeah, man. I mean, based on how you guys are playing, right now, there's a good chance of 60 to 65 wins. And then you get 60 to 65 wins in an 82-game season. That's a big deal. 65-12. Like that. Or you need more than that. Not 65-12. Let me go here. Let me try to do my proper calculation. What do I think? 65-17, but you're 37-8 right now, so 37-65. So that could be doable. You have 8 losses now, and you'd have 9 more. So 65-17 sounds pretty goddamn sexy. Obviously, we're not talking about like OG Bulls teams going like 72-10. You guys aren't that good. You already have 8 losses, but to be able to have somewhere between 12 and 17 losses, depending on how good your defense is, that's going to be fucking incredible. 70 and obviously 12 would be insane. Looks good. Thunder Warriors. And you can see him getting better and better every year, kind of like Anthony Edwards. Like everyone would talk about the Joker and Luka, right? And obviously this guy is getting to the end of his career. Obviously was very, very good for a very long time, right? But the new kids on the block are, kind of SGA and Anthony Edwards, but it's all about, being consistent. And then that way when, Luka comes back from being injured and you still have the Joker there and then others that typically get the fame, for being like the best player in the NBA or one of the best in the NBA, top 5. But again, it's cool to be able to see that next wave, make a name for themselves, SGA, Anthony Edwards, and it looks like they're going to stay. Like, I don't think anyone thinks that either one is going to fall off anytime soon. So injuries are the only thing that could set those guys back. And SGA more well-rounded than Edwards. Edwards is more immature. Obviously, you can tell with his interviews, he's the type of guy that would like to go to the clubs and, but again, he's just incredibly fucking athletic. So not everyone, is going to be dedicated to the game. Others are going to be distracted by the money, the girls, the clubs, but are just freakish athletes. And that is what Anthony Edwards is. We're at 7:93 to go. Nice pass. Corner 3. In and out, no good. Get that board. And again, if you actually look at the front office of the Thunder, in the last 10 years, building this roster and building this team, they had a lot of capital, a lot of draft picks that they got based on a lot of trades, but it's all about hitting, on your picks. Like the Eagles this year, they were the #1 winner in free agency, Saquon Barkley, Zach Vaughn, Vic Fangio. And then on top of that, drafting 2 corners in Cooper DeJean, right? On top of Quinyon Mitchell. Nobody had a better, come up And that's why I wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year. I'll do my, prediction show and I'll give you guys what I think. But player for player, I feel the Eagles are better. And I'm not one of those people hating on the Chiefs like everyone, with the calls. I'm just going to call it how I see it. And I know what teams have defense, and the two best teams are left, and the Chiefs don't need the refs to help them to win. They are good enough to win without the refs, right? We all know that. But I feel that, this Eagle team, it could go 50-50 either way. But I definitely feel the Eagles could be the team that Jalen and Saquon get the ring after losing, get payback on the Chiefs, even though Chiefs repeating would be great. And I know that probably Roger Goodell would just fucking love that, but even if the refs are on the Chiefs side, I think the Eagles could open the game up to the point where, maybe they win by more than, 3 or 4 points. And again, there's only been one team to be able to beat the Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's not easy. You've got to get to the quarterback, and I highly doubt the Eagles are going to be able to hold Mahomes to no touchdowns like Tampa did. Still, I don't even know how we did that. Like, how do you hold Patrick Mahomes and no touchdowns in the Super Bowl? We did it. But again, if you look at our defense, it was insane. I think our defense is better than the Eagles defense this season, but the Eagle defense is better, I think, player for player than the Chiefs defense. The one thing really to keep an eye on is going to be the offensive line for the Eagles with Jurgens and Dickerson, up front. Like, the health of the offensive line. Because right now, the Eagles' offensive line is much better than Kansas City's. But if the Eagles have injuries on the line, that could be the thing that the Chiefs need to win the Super Bowl, to be able to get in there and stuff Saquon more times than not and get some sack lunches and turnovers on Jalen. But, we'll be going over that on another video. I mean, I know America is going to be rooting for the Eagles, even if they don't like their fan base, just because people don't want to see the three-peat and the whole Chief spectacle, and whatnot. But, sometimes you have to have that extra motivation. And again, we know the Chiefs have been kind of skating by, but who's the hungriest team, right? It's the Eagles, because they've already lost, for some of those players, and no one is going to be hungrier than a team that's lost rather than a team that just keeps winning. At some point, you're going to get kind of complacent of just getting too comfortable with winning. And, they definitely have the edge with the coaches, Andy Reid and Spags. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But they got, Vic Fangio, so I'm excited. Yeah. But again, the Eagles, like anyone that's an NFL fan, you look at teams like that, and that's how you end up developing, a monster, and it ends up being great because you got the right evaluators, the right owner, the right GM, the right people evaluating and scouting. You got the right coach for now, even though Sirianni can be replaced. Vic Fangio at DC, and it's a culture there. Like, Hurts doesn't even have to win the game for them anymore, or Mahomes. Like, the teams are so good around them that they just have to be like an elite game manager. That's when things have changed. Yeah, and also, too, he's a Caucasian white corner. Those don't exist in the NFL. He's like the only one, and he's good. That's what makes it even better. It's like the best guy we've seen since Jason Sehorn. Like, you get 1 or 2 corners in the NFL, and then you just got to hope that if they do play that position, because it's dominated by the brothers, that they end up being, good. It's like the Eminem of the cornerback position, but goddamn, he is good. And I would love to have him in Tampa. And that could be a key piece with him and Mitchell, winning the game by causing some havoc and maybe getting a turnover on Patrick Mahomes. Nice pass. Wow, great ball movement by the Thunder. Floater airballed. Come on. Steph, pass deflected out of bounds. Like, typically, like the Eagles and the Niners, they're not going to be everyone's favorite. But if you look at how certain organizations draft and bring in free agents, it's a culture, and it's just about having the right people in the building. And imagine if they didn't have Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch, do you really think the Niners would have been as good as they were for as long as they were? And even though they haven't been able to go and win it all yet, because they need a quarterback like Montana and Young, not like Brock Purdy or Kaepernick, and you need someone better. But that's another story for another day. But if you look at how they build their teams and they have that consistency, that's what it's about. Tampa's been pretty damn good at it too. Nice pump fake, foul, and one. Oh my. Yeah, but you have to do it based off, not just pure hate in your heart for being a Bronco fan. It has to be different reasoning. Free throw is good. And lucky for you, for all the Broncos, Raiders, Charger fans that hate the Chiefs, or people that hate Taylor Swift or hate fucking the Chiefs exposure, or hate that the refs are giving some extra assistance, I get it, right? But the Eagles are so fucking good. Like, they don't, again, this is not like you got to root for them just because they're playing the Chiefs. Like, this team is actually like probably better than the Chiefs if we're really being honest, player for player. It's just can they find a way to win if it gets late in the game? We'll find out. Offensive foul. Yeah, but also too, you're biased because you say that, Matt, because Justin Herbert, Oregon Ducks. So, again, it's all based on allegiances to players from Oregon, right? And even if it ends up being in your division, Now, if Justin Herbert wasn't on the Chargers, then But there's definitely going to be some teams that you hate more than others. Rivalries are stronger than others. It's like me being a Tampa fan. Like, Saints is the number one rival normally, but now they're not as good as they used to be. And them in Atlanta is a natural rivalry, and supposedly I guess it's Tampa and Carolina. But I mean, for a rivalry, the other team has to win. It just can't be one-sided. So, but it's okay if you still got love for the Chargers because of J. Herb. Oh, big block, rejection from behind. I actually think it's kind of a cool thing that we got two Oregon Duck quarterbacks in the same division with the Denver and the Chargers with two OG Hall of Fame coaches, and now the careers are not going to be wasted. Nice reverse dunk there. Again, it's hard enough to be able to make the NFL, and it's not finally good that we can have some quarterbacks that panned out. Even like, Mariota won a Heisman, but it seems like Nix and Herbert already is better, right? And Nix looks like he's going to be better than Mariota career-wise. So it shows you that, with Mariota, it never was due to him being dumb or him, not being able to play. He can play. He just got injured too much. And sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But I'd rather be an injury-prone, player than a shit player that just didn't pan out, Facts. 41-27, Thunder, down the under. Rebound by the Nuggets. Floater, off the glass, no good. Steph trying to get the foul call. That's a no-go. I really like the ball movement for the Thunder. That's one thing. When you watch this team, Jesus, man, they are so unselfish. The ball movement, it's like the personification of a fucking team, like the last time, maybe since like that Piston team, like I mentioned earlier, right? Not just with Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars and, Vinny the Microwave Johnson and the John Sally and then, the James Edwards, going through all of those old school Bill Lambier and the Dennis Rodman. It goes much, much deeper. Mark Acquire, and then, the Rip Hamilton, the Chauncey Billups, the Tayshaun Prince, the Rasheed Wallace, the Ben Wallace, the unselfishness, and the great defense. It's fun to watch, Like, anybody can goddamn score in any fucking sport. But show me a team that can do that and play some deep. Facts. This career is coming to an end. Maybe people will start playing fucking defense once he's out of the league. They won't, but there'll just be someone else that'll be just launching just as many, but they won't be making as many as him. R.I.P. Kobe. This was like when the NBA was much, much better. The Iverson Kobe era. Facts. Is it baseball season yet? God damn it. Is it NASCAR season yet? I have never been this antsy. Can I get baseball started? NASCAR started. I'm itching. I'm itching for it. 41-27 Thunder. At least the Warriors are keeping it closer. Now, if they had Draymond, then the game would be a little bit closer. And if Chet was playing, then it would be a little bit further out. But, this is the first time in a long time that I'm invested in a team, other than my own. And obviously the state of the NBA is in a horrible place. It really is. Just the lack of defense and everyone shooting threes. Those two simple things are ruining this game that I used to have as my number one. But there's a lot of things that they can do that bring back some of the fans, but again, it all starts with the all-star festivities and, changing the culture where you get more teams that are like the Thunder and the Cavs and less all the rest. I get it. Big dunks are cool and threes are cool, but someone rejecting a fucking basketball into the 10th row, that's fucking cool. I love to be able to see defense turn into offense, baby. Warriors at the top of the key. Let's see if they run a little two-man game. Wiggins poked away. Steph Curry's where's the ball? Not to you. OKC, corner three. Front rim, no good. Offensive rebound, of course they get it. Passing, rebounding, effort, unselfishness, number one defense, and you got a superstar in SGA. I don't see any fucking weaknesses in this. It's I'm watching the Eagles or something. Because the Chiefs obviously are very, very good, but there's definitely some weaknesses. Right tackle. Taylor, Bootios, and every Chief fan will tell you. But other than that, they don't really have a whole lot. And you got the best coach. That always helps. Warriors, top of the key, two-man game. Fade. And off the glass and good. Schroeder. Seeing Schroeder is weird. We've seen him bounce around for many, many teams, but to see him there is a little weird. We're at 7:93 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. But I'm also glad that, the Blazers are playing better, as well as I have a team that I can get invested in like the Thunder. Because again, if, we're going to be doing this, I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to, be just miserable. And, I want to actually genuinely, oh, fuck, what a throwdown. Oh my God. What a fucking throwdown. Are you kidding me? Jalen Williams. Holy fuck. Schroeder is a shooter. Oh, two-man game at the top. Nice up and under, reach in, no call. But the Thunder are very sneaky. Reverse layup, in and out, no good. So unselfish. It's like refreshing, man. It almost makes me feel like I'm watching a team from my childhood. Like that again, and that was something that was way more common back then, and the NBA was better and it had better players. And then the defense was better, but the players and the teams could still put up 170, even though, in some games, the players were just better. More top 50 players ever. Corner three, no good. Warriors trying to get on a little run here. A little murmuring crowd. Wiggins at the top of the key. Three ball. 43-37. Schroeder. Yeah, Captain, is that good? Everyone got so excited for that Trevor Lawrence, and that's why I have to make sure I educate. And we always get excited for every quarterback class, but you have to understand the talent level. And even when the talent level is really good, like Marcus Mariota, Heisman, sometimes it doesn't translate in the NFL due to injuries or with others with poor play, poor decision-making like Jameis Winston. So, there's going to be different, levels. It depends on, the individual. It depends on the team, the GM, the coach, the coaches, the mentors, the supporting cast. There's a lot that goes in for certain players. And remember, teams fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks fail teams. Because, again, think about if you are good, but you have a different coach or coordinator every year, you have no chemistry, you have to learn something new every year. I mean, even if you don't think you're like rocket scientist, but you're definitely not dumb, that could be stressful for anybody, and that could hinder your game. So I feel like, some situations you end up, like having that comfort, like Brady having the same coach, and the coordinators come and go, but again, in the same system for 20 years, like no wonder they were so good. It's like they had that consistency down like a fucking machine. SGA at the top of the key here. Got about 5 minutes left. I just like being able to see greatness and point out the things that make the greatness great. Things to look forward to. Now they're getting chippy out there. Schroeder's getting in there. SGA, everyone is trying to get chippy. Yeah, the cool thing about the class is that all those quarterbacks can make the Super Bowl besides Tua. Regardless if he had a good relationship with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, he's just not good enough. It's cool to see him as a lefty, but Michael Penix Jr. will be better than him at some point. So just give it some time, right? Tua's not horrible, but again, to me, yeah, sometimes he can put up top 5 stats, but the eye test and the trust test, to me, he's more of a quarterback 11 through 16, not even top 10. He'll play top 5, top 10, but I don't trust him. But I trust more Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, and even Jordan Love. Even though I don't really care for a lot of Packer things, I can definitely give the love to Jordan Love and the Packer organization when I see things that are good. Might not be my cup of tea, but Jordan Love is a good player. I would take him at Tampa. So obviously, if I thought he was trash or I was a hater, I'd be like, fuck that guy. But Jordan Love is good. It's just, he's just getting better with the decision making. That's really his thing. He's got a great arm. He's got a great head on his shoulders. Got a good woman in his life. Very likable, but living in the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers shadow hasn't really hurt him yet, and I don't think it will. It's just, you got great athletes all around you. Offensive line needs to be better. Play calling needs to be better. Execution better. Defense, special teams better. But again, Jordan Love, I feel it's like he's got the skill set, but still not there yet. But every year he's getting better and better and better, and that could be a team that could make an NFC championship game or a Super Bowl, possibly one day. They still need a lot of holes to fill, but should be competitive with Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit for quite a while. And maybe even Chicago getting to be 500 one day. We'll see if Ben Johnson can get them to a 9-8, 8-9 record in year one. maybe getting Caleb to actually be the Caleb at USC. And, if that happens, then yeah, you can definitely get a couple more wins. Yeah, NFL is the hardest, league to be able to be good at and to be great at and also to be consistent at with all the injuries. Fast break, floater with the left. Oh my God, it's like Varejao. Look at him. But yeah, it's like guys like fucking DeAnthony Thomas and LaMichael James. To see those guys in person, I saw DeAnthony run a punt back in front of me against USC, and I swear to God, it felt like he was running 30 miles an hour. It was the coolest thing to watch, as well as LaMichael, 21 miles per hour. I mean, like when you see guys that are freakish athletes that could be the best at their position, but then they go to the NFL and then they can only make it to like their rookie deal, it's really humbling. Like, you were the best in college at your position. You were like phenom. But again, when you go to the NFL, everyone is like that, and they weigh more than you, and they're taller. And that was kind of the downside to both. I think they were too a little bit undersized, height and weight wise. And DeAnthony kind of fucked himself because when he went from the Chiefs to the Ravens, we had COVID, and then he just said, "Fuck it, I don't want to, go to practice." And he tried to take advantage and like fish because he likes to fish and shit. And then they just fucking cut him, and then like nobody picked him up, and then the career was just like over. So I imagine if he could have went back, he probably would have been like, man, maybe I should have said, fuck it. And because obviously that was his dream, right? But kind of makes you scratch your head. LaMichael not making it, had that costly fumble in the Super Bowl and then Dolphins and didn't really pan out. But with DeAnthony should have been in the league for like 10 years, based off his speed and that Tyreek Xavier Worthy ability, like, running punts for touchdowns or kicks and, just being that maybe slot receiver, wide receiver 3, maybe he can get you some reverses and jet sweeps. Like, I don't know. I just feel like his career, maybe it was just the timing that he was in the NFL, but just imagine if DeAnthony was in the NFL now. Like, this would be the perfect time, and he would actually probably make it 10 years. But back then, it just, it's not like he went to bad teams. I mean, playing on Chiefs and Ravens, but wish we could have saw a little bit more out of DeAnthony Thomas. I always will love the Mamba and LaMichael. I mean, like I said, I can still rock those jerseys, and I always get comments on them too. Layup is good by the Thunder, 47-41. OKC. But we haven't had any athletes as good as that. And now we're getting, DeCorian Moore. We're getting him, and he's on that same level as LaMichael and DeAnthony, and possibly could be better. Like, this could be the best player that maybe Oregon will ever have. It's a possibility. Like, he could be like our number one guy. And if that's the case, then, maybe we'll go a little bit further. But the NFL comp for DeCorian Moore is Amon-Ra St. Brown, so they feel like he could be top 5, obviously receiver type guy, top 5, top 10 kind of guy. And yeah, I mean, I'm all for that. I mean, we need beasts in the passing game for the Ducks, running backs as well. That's when we end up showing how really what we have to offer. Offensive line, but that elite running back and wide receiver that's just fucking ridiculous. 3 is in the corner, no good, and bodies hit the floor. Yeah, well, I feel with like Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy, and Drake May, for those 3, they're not going to be as good as Michael Penix Jr. or Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels. They're just not. But they do have a chance, to get into that category of possibly being a, top 10 or top 12, top 14 quarterback. Like all of them can be like, 14, 15, 16. But can you elevate your game and get the right coach and supporting cast for Drake May one day to be number 10 quarterback in the NFL? Or Caleb Williams is number 9 one day once they actually have like a better O-line and defense and head coach and culture, And can JJ McCarthy be the guy that Sam Darnold was this year, but better? Free throw is good. So it's like we don't really know what we're getting out of some of those guys. Obviously, JJ McCarthy is probably the biggest question mark because we already know what Drake May and Caleb can do when they don't have a lot of, the full, spectrum and team together yet. I mean, Caleb had a lot of supporting cast help, but again, the NFL game is, much faster than, having 8 to 10 seconds at USC, playing some dog shit opponent and, you can do Jordan-like plays because you're going against, crap. NFL, it's like you're the worst team in the division. Everyone's coming for you. They don't give a fuck who you are, where you went to school. You just got to go out there and prove that you belong. And I think this quarterback class from last year is going to be one of our better ones. But for it to be elite, that means that we got to get more out of Caleb. He needs to live up to the potential. And then you got to get Drake May or JJ McCarthy to pan out. If one of them doesn't, fine. But then, only one can fail out of those two guys. But even if they both fail and Caleb succeeds, that's 4 out of 6. That's much better than normal, Michael Penix Jr. still needs to prove it. JJ McCarthy, we don't know yet, right? Drake May and Caleb have flashed, but we need more. Thunder up by 4, 49-45. Let's 8 likes to 20. Smash that fucking like button, huh? Free throw is good. All right, what do we need? 8 or 9 more? We can get that. 8 more to go, and we're at 20. Let's get there. $24 points. Money. And that's another reason why I like SGA. Money, money, money at the free throw line. 25 points, 7 for 10, 10 for 11 from the line, and we're not even at halftime yet. Ridiculous. Might be putting up 50 tonight, baby. They're like, O-Dog is going to do SGA. Oh, I got to put on a performance to make sure that he can get engaged in the NBA and actually enjoy. Floater, Schroeder is good. Okay. Yeah, this draft and quarterback's fucking terrible. And good. Wow, SGA, you're a problem. SGA is a problem. Oh my. But I mean, I hope I'm not gonna be a Shedeur Sanders guy, but what I will say is with all the connections with his dad and all of the people that he knows, to be able to have the best nutrition people and to have everyone there to be able to guide him. I'm not going to root for him, me personally. Like, he's not my guy, right? But I hope that he pans out because the NFL will be better if Shedeur is good, not a flop. And obviously, my number one would be Cam Ward. I want Cam to really succeed, and hopefully he can be like C.J. Stroud. And then we get another quarterback that we can go out of our way and watch on some shit team, regardless on, which one goes to the Titans, which one goes to the Giants, or, someone trades up. We will see. And then there's a couple others that will, Quinn Ewers, we'll see, what we get out of him. There's some potential. I mean, if Quinn Ewers pans out, right, and is a top, 14 quarterback, you want top 10, but, NFL's top, right? And then you get Cam and Shedeur panning out to be top 14 quarterbacks also. I mean, but the chances of everyone panning out, is not very good, especially if you go to like a franchise that has a shit culture. Like, you could be badass. Like, Shedeur Sanders has got all the confidence in the world until he ends up going to the Titans and they start off 0 for 4. Then what? Then he's going to be crybaby, doing a lot of this, right? Trying to flex the fucking watch. Like, bro, why are you flexing the watch? You're 0 and 4. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, certain players are going to be able to handle the pressure better, like Cam Ward. He's mature. But, the moment that Shedeur Sanders goes 0 for 4 or 1 and 3, feels like the season's at loss. It's like, what kind of player am I going to get? Are you going to get better, over time? Or are you going to sulk and fucking bitch and moan and whine and make excuses and then just suck the rest of the year, Wiggins for 3, in and out, no good. But I'm definitely more of a Cam Ward guy, but I hope Shedeur pans out, but, I'm not buying his shit. I'm not going out of my way to root for him, but I do hope that he pans out, though. He just seems like too much of a me player instead of a team player. And some of those selfish type of players will pan out, but some will not. Ooh, baby. Another 3 by SGA. Ridiculous. He said, I'm good. At the buzzer, Wiggins. 58-48. Thunder up by 10. Wiggins trying to get them close. SGA is a fucking basketball god. Fun to watch, man. Definitely reminds me of an 80s, 90s player. I mean, I grew up watching Jordan and Drexler and Bird and Magic. So you already know what kind of standards I'm at. Wow. All right, let's get some Larry Bird up here. I know that we were going to get that earlier, but now we're at halftime. I think I hear Paisley. Hold on, Paisley. I gotta get the Bird photo with Jordan. And let me know where you guys want to go. Obviously, for the people that donated, we'll take care of those people first. Come here, Paisley. Come inside. Bird. The Mom Slayer? Zach Wilson? But like the younger generation, the LeBron generation, or, it's like obviously even in the Kobe, Shaq, Allen Iverson generation, a lot of generations have special players. But I mean, I'm telling you from just firsthand experience and just like watching, like if these players played today, the players that we watch and root for and, are in awe of like Luka and SGA, and you wouldn't even be talking about those players at all. They would still be like considered good, but like this was like the best athleticism and creativity. And then obviously having Jordan on top of that, like, you're not going to see a better overall player. Jordan's number 1, always will be. It's not Kobe. Kobe's 2. LeBron, you can say is 3, but Bird and Magic. You just got to watch a highlight reel on YouTube for like 5 minutes, and you'll realize how much better they are than any player that's played in quite a while, besides maybe Kobe Bryant. Like facts, especially the passing and the effort. Like Magic played the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the passing, it was like you were watching a performance. It was incredible. And there's been good passers since that. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, and that generation after, right? But Jason Kidd and Steve Nash are not Magic Johnson. And then you had White Chocolate, right? Jason Williams, give you that flair and that flash, but not like Magic, though, or like Bird. Captain with a 3 out. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Look at the cactus stack. Bye. Let me know what you want to see. We're at 10, 90 to go. I mean, it's just like, it's hard to put into words, like compared to like people that have no idea. But just like imagine watching basketball and watching the best athletes play, and imagine them doing passes that you've never seen before. Like, you know, through watching things that you've never seen on the court before, and then they show you that at the like highest level. So it's like you remember seeing, you know, LeBron, and you know, you see Kobe, and you see Steph Curry, you see these guys, but like you see these, I mean, it's like they literally would show you something you've never fucking seen before. That's why the OG generation is the best of all time. It's just period. We can throw KD up. $58-48 Thunder. And it's like my childhood right here. Dominique Wilkins. Him and Jordan in the dunk contest. Ridiculous. If they were, you know, able to do something like that now, I mean, that's what it was about when I was growing up. They didn't have jobbers doing the dunk contest. They had the best of the best. Man, I mean, if you could go back in time, I mean, it will change your life forever. Like the way that you see the game. Like if you see it compared to like now, there's a reason why the drop off is so dramatic. And it's crazy too, because even to this day, people can't play like Bird and Magic. Like there hasn't been anyone that has even been like any of these guys. And the closest thing to Jordan was Kobe, because he emulated his game off of MJ. And, you know, you could see that, but that's really the only close one that we've had. Would have been better if the Blazers would have drafted him instead of Greg Oden, but he would have left after his rookie deal. He wouldn't have stayed there. But it would have been cool to have like a big name in Portland that could have changed the trajectory for us. But you know, the Blazers organization isn't the best at deciding, you know, elite players. Like we could have had Jordan and Durant. Like how do you miss like that? But it happens. Yeah, and it was cool because it was an alternative to LeBron. So if you didn't really like LeBron, you could be like, oh, I like Kevin Durant. Like, you know, there was another alternative that was just as good. You know, at that time, it was always them 1-2. So I think that was like good for the NBA at that time. So that way that you could have that rivalry. And it also, you know, obviously LeBron is more all around. Durant, not so much on the defense. and all around ability, but for just like scoring, taking over a game, pretty amazing to watch in the prime. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you end up having those memories. They typically don't get replicated. It's a memory that you'll have, and it's a special time, and you're not going to see a repeat of that player or that era. And that's why you got to really soak things in, because things like this are not going to be forever. But I mean, I'm telling you, if anyone was old enough to be able to watch, I saw things that even to this day, no one has been able to do that these two guys did, as well as this guy here and these guys here. But this was the closest thing. No question. Higher than LeBron, for sure. LeBron is all around, but Kobe was the better player. More clutch, more Mamba. Like, I wish I had like a time machine, and then like I could, take a certain people to go back, and we could like watch a game. Like you don't even need to be at the stadium. Just like watching it on TV with friends, like on the couch and stuff, eating snacks. Like, it was just such a vibe. NBA on NBC, and it was just like it was like so like fun to look forward to. And also here, like, Blazers were good. Fuck, we made the finals in 90 and 92. That was when I was 8 and 10 years old. So I'm second and fourth grade. So think about like how big of a moment, like everything is cool when you're like, from 5 to like 12 years old. So everything that happens to you is like a cool thing. So definitely a special time. And Drexler was definitely the 2 to Jordan. There was nobody better than Drexler at guard besides Jordan and bad boys. To lose to the bad boys and lose to Jordan and Pippen, that shit happens. They did a lot of cool memorabilia back when I was a kid, and I always look forward to seeing those things. Like the Dairy Queen Blazer glasses, that was such a like vibe. Like, even people that didn't give a shit about basketball, like it was Blazer mania, like the whole state. It was like I have never seen anything like that since then. In that like 3-year period, 4-year period, it was wild. All right, we're about to start here after halftime shortly. Thunder up by 10. Best first half in his career, and we're doing the game on stream. Do you think that's a coincidence? No. Yeah. SGA has the best first half ever in his life, and this is the game we do. Thanks. That's what I'm talking about, baby. He's like, I like the thumb, O-Dog man. I got to play good. $31 at half. Electric. Well, I'm happy that they know exactly what I want to see. 31 points in 17 minutes is fucking ridiculous. You kidding me? Let's go, baby. First Thunder game. No, well, I've done Thunder and Wemby. You know, I did Chet Holmgren versus Wemby. So it's like, I'm already used to kind of watching them. But 31 in the first half, it's like a sign of the sports gods, you know? It's like my NWSF, ESP, and like the sports gods, like they're always trying to show me signs that they are listening and they're paying attention, and I'm relaying the message. Like a movie, baby. 11 from 12 from the line. Let's go. All right, talk tomorrow. We'll do some Kraken hockey for a couple hours tomorrow against the Sharks, 7:30 Pacific. Friday, probably an NFL stream. And then Saturday, Royal Rumble and Senior Bowl. East-West Shrine game is tomorrow, which I'll watch at 5, and I'll be streaming 7:30 with Kraken and Sharks. 3, top of the key, in and out, no good. Rebound here by the Warriors. Steph Curry at the top of the key. Steph, little shake and bake. Down low. In and out, no good. See if there's got to be a foul there. Gary Payton, the second. 5-footer. I enjoyed when Gary Payton, the second, was on the Blazers. Yeah. What you want for photos? I got you. $58-51 Thunder. Corner 3. In and out, no good. Another 3. Corner, no good. Another tip out. Another save. Pump fake. Drive into the hole, off the glass, no good. Another offensive rebound by the Thunder. In and out, no good. And finally, the Warriors get the basketball after like the 5th attempt. Layup, and one is good. Oh, my. What would you like for the photos? Are we talking like Bo Nix or Senior Bowl stuff like Tez Johnson and Dylan Gabriel? Dylan Gabriel throwing for like 75 fucking miles per hour. That's some good arm strike. Record was 2 individuals. One was like, Joe Milton with like 62 miles an hour with another individual. But that's some good arm speed. Makes you kind of wonder how fast Dylan Gabriel could throw a baseball. Floater off the glass, no good. Candace in the building, what's good? How are you? Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help. Yo, boy, out. Good to hear. I'm glad that you are doing well. Top of the key, pick and roll. Floater is good. Steph Curry, two-man game. Jalen Williams, I see you. Wiggins at the top of the key. Two-man game with Curry. Pass down low into the block. Good ball movement there. Corner three is good. 60-56. Thunder. Oh my, they need a timeout. Like right now, the momentum is getting a little bit fierce. They need to whoop, whoop, whoop. They need to stop this momentum. Uncle Mo is definitely switch teams for sure. But again, you have to be able to catch that momentum at the right time. Because if you wait too late, then they're already gonna, have that. You're down, let's say 15. If you wait to call it when they only have like a 4-point lead, I mean that's way too late. Because by the time that the timeout is done, they might still be on that same hot streak. Like you got to be able to call the timeout when the lead gets cut in like half or sooner, and recognize that if you don't call a timeout, they're gonna score 2 or 3 more times, and then you're fucked. So. But they are the number 1 defensive team in the league, so the Thunder will figure it out. 64-58, Thunder. I can do some duck photos. I can throw some up. Off the glass and good. All right, Warriors with a kind of up-tempo, baseline spin move. Nice layup there with authority. Buddy Hield and Steph Curry doing some things. Wow, backdoor cut. Look at the unselfishness and the court vision there. Hartenstein is a money. Hartenstein is fun to watch. Like, when you have him and Chet out there, like, those big guys that can give you that defensive prowess, it's like good vision. I've got to pass. When you can get your big guys that can actually pass like guards, it does make a huge difference. Like, you don't expect a big guy to pass like a fucking point guard or a shooting guard, but you do see it sometimes. Corner three by Steph Curry is good. Yeah, I'll have to put him up once we get to a timeout or something. 64-61. Where was the timeout when needed to be called? Hartenstein, another backdoor court. Stolen. Fast break. Curry, top of the key. Open three. Bang. In and out. No good. And then wrapped up with Steph Curry and Hartenstein. (64-63), the lead that the Thunder had, a 10-point lead at half, 58-48, has been obliterated. And I get it, you can let teams kind of play through the runs, and you do have the number 1 defensive team. You have, number 1 in many, many categories. Offense is just off the chain all the time, but you have to recognize runs and when to call timeout and when not to. And I think that's the biggest thing that separates good coaches and bad coaches or average coaches. The ones that can recognize that. Oh, fast break dunk, Andrew Wiggins and company. Oh, my. I was 12 years old, man. That was a big deal. Man, crazy stuff back then. Jerseys and that vibe back then, man, it was something. These were the days, man. Changed everything. You know, we finally felt what it was like to be elite for the very first time. That's what it's about, baby. All right, 64-63. Thunder up by 1 when they had a 10-point lead, 58-48 going into half. SGA with 31 at the half, pacing for 62, but you know, realistically, he could get to 41 to 51, somewhere in that range. Yeah, I got an Oregon helmet, but I like the Smokey the Bear Oregon Duck cards that they gave out to some of the fans, you know, back in the day in the Bilotti era. I actually have an uncut sheet of like 12 cards. It's like two-sided, 6 that are attached together, and then another 6. It's like in Bilotti's first or second year, like right in that, you know, 94, 95 period, around that Kenny Wheaton time. And it's amazing. Never seen another one like it, even on eBay. I like the old school weird things like that. Curry with the reach in. Free throw. In and out, no good. Isaiah Joe enters the game for Kingston Wallace. Free throw, no good. Warriors with the board. And now they're on the run. OKC needs to make these adjustments. Third quarter has been all Golden State. Got to think they only had 48. Now they're at 67 already. Backdoor cut and good. Playing good ball in front of the home court fans. SGA needs to be able to stop the bleeding, because when you go on a bad slump and the other team is hot, you have to go to your best player to end it. And, you know, great teams recognize that. Oh, wow. Push off. Everything going the Warriors' way now. Can't get frustrated, though. It's what happens in runs in basketball. He got bumped. Yeah. All right, got to fight the momentum now. 67-64 Warriors. Wiggins off the top of the key. Good pass down low. What a layup. How athletic was that? Oh, my. Baseline. Good ball movement by the Thunder. Open three at the top of the key. In and out, no good. Offensive board by the Thunder. Cross-court pass. Baseline. SGA. Corner. In and out, no good. Curry, top of the key. All the way. And no good. Wow. Yeah, low energy to start off, but wow. You're starting to see a little bit of life from the fan base and the Warriors. Free throw is good. Steph single-handedly trying to keep this game close. Free throw is good. They just need to get into a rhythm. Baseline jumper, in and out, no good. 11-0 run by Golden State. Good cross-court pass. Two-man game. Curry down low. Looked like he traveled. No call. Thunder get the ball. Bench says travel as well. But it's okay if you end up getting the ball. A little pick and roll. SGA. There you go. And that's how you stop the fucking bleeding right there. You go all the way to the paint. He's the best at it in the NBA. Stop the fucking bleeding, even if he gets fouled. If he goes in for a layup or a dunk, he's probably going to make it. Good steal by the Thunder. Wiggins out of control. Top of the key. Give it to SGA. Let him make the right decision here, either to shoot it or to pass it. Fouled. Down low. No call. In and out. No good. Fast break now for the Warriors. Offensive foul. Not called. Tip. No good. Tip. No good. Rebound by the Thunder. Bodies hit the floor. Fast break. SGA with the ball. Passes it out. Corner three. Attempted back to SGA. Top of the key. Take that. You're open. Jesus Christ. Pick and roll now. Go to the rim. Go to the rim. There you go. Good pass. Dort. Jalen Williams has really good court vision and passing ability. And Dort, baby. (69-68) Warriors. And I'm happy that this isn't like a 20-point blowout or even a 10-point blowout. I was kind of hoping that it would be similar to the Blazers and Bucks game that I did last night where, you know, I'm not going to be doing probably a bunch, but if I end up doing some NBA or NHL, I want to enjoy the games that we're doing. And this one is definitely living up to being, one that could go down to the wire. I like it. Obviously, for captain, you want to be able to get that 10-point lead back, which is still possible. Got to fight the run. It's not over yet. Eventually, they got to give him some calls, you know. I'm going to go grab my water here real quick. Yeah, for real. Yeah, and you would think that, since SGA is like a top, 3 player, top 5 player now, that, he would get the calls. But, again, when a team is on a run, the refs, seem to like usually let that team keep going, and just got to be able to make it undeniable and just, get the fucking, layup to go in even if you get hacked. Oh, baby. 72-71 Warriors, now 74-71 Jalen Williams. Andrew Wiggins. SGA. Bang, bang, bang. It's really going now, huh? Wow, what a three. Unbelievable. Wiggins can still play. That's evident. Good spacing there by the Thunder. Drained the three. Knotted up at 74. Wiggins is super athletic. Like, people think that at some point, like, he's just going to be like just, old, and his legs aren't going to be what they were. But I mean, he's still super athletic and get to the rim very easily. Good shooter off the glass and good. SGA. Let's go. 35 for SGA. Let's go. It's called athleticism right there. Give me that and one. Take the lead. Let's go. Well, if they end up being number one team, number one player, championship, eventually people will give SGA the proper respect. Most will probably have to see him win a title first, but true OGs that know and watch know how good he is. He's been getting better and better in the last, 3-4 years, dramatically. Outlet pass. Let's go. Fast break. Move it, baby. Corner three. Bang. Isaiah Joe. SGA. 5-foot driving, floating jump shot. Let's go. Right back at it, baby. Attacking the basket, in and out, no good. Nice 9-2 run. Starting to get the momentum back slightly. Steph, jab step, three, good. Wow. Oh my. Steph. SGA. In between two defenders and one. Let's go. I mean, you got to be able to, he's got to be able to find that athleticism and to be able to, get right in between, two defenders while not charging, and at the same time being able to put up enough of a, attempt to get an and one. Fucking awesome, dude. Like I said, these are the type of plays that only special players make. It's good. Watching a fucking movie. You gotta make that free throw, though. I know he's getting tired. Probably getting a little gassed. But they need him. Top of the key. Ballsy three. My God, really? Holy moly. That was like a Chris Mullin 3 at the top of the key. No fear. Said, fuck it. I'm going to shoot it right in your eye. Wow. That was ballsy. Schroeder with the reach. And now they're just going heavy SGA because they don't want the momentum to, go in the Warriors' favor. They kind of stop the bleeding, and now you just need him to finish the quarter strong, and then you can distribute the basketball evenly in the fourth. That's what, you have to recognize, when things are starting to go out of hand, you have to get the ball to your best player, and that's common knowledge on any level. Pop Warner, high school, college or pro. SGA, there you go. Make those free throws, baby. 81-80 Thunder. 40 points, 12 for 21, 14 from 16 from the line. But they are probably going to need SGA to put up another 10, if they're going to win. And we have a collision. We got two guys bonking heads on the Thunder and the Warriors, and they look fucking hurt. They bonked. Bonk's adventure. Bang, bang. Bonking heads. Hopefully they're okay. That did not look like it. I think everyone has had a moment like that at some point if you played sports or you played basketball. And the crowd definitely needs to get into it for the Warriors. Make sure that the players hear that encouragement. But I believe the Thunder were 8.5 or 9.5 favorites on the Vegas line. So Warriors trying to actually make this a competitive matchup. Schroeder, top of the key. Triangle, passing it down low. They're on the block. Schroeder, in and out, no good. Offensive rebound. Unexcusable if you're the Thunder there. You have to get that. Little isolation by the Warriors. And a turnover. $83-80 Thunder. Here we go, Captain. Remember, it was 58-48 at half. So things can God, what a play to bait. You got to be able to bait the player up with the pump fake. Certain guys are better than others. Kobe was great at it. There's a lot of players that know, when to use a play like that to gain your advantage. Reggie Miller. But you can get someone off their feet. They jump on you. You shoot. You're probably not going to make it, but you don't care. You drew the foul. 2 easy points if you are a good free throw shooter. And then gives you, more on that stat line. Slows the game down a little bit. Lets the teammates rest, right? And you stop the bleeding. And you stop the run that it was looking like it was going to get really fucking out of hand. SGA. Wow. He has a chance to do something that only him and Michael Jordan did. That's when you know you're talking about a real special player, baby. 84-82 Thunder. Top of the key. Backdoor cut, good pass. He fumbled the bag, though. Did he turn it over? I don't know. He might have turned that over, but they're saying Warriors ball with 9 on the clock. In and out three in the corner, no good. Schroeder really is a hustler out there. Corner three, open. In and out, no good. Fast break. There he is. Oh. Layup is good. 84. Oh, my. This is really going back and forth. It's fun, you know. You don't really know where, you know, the play is going to come from sometimes when it's just like so fast-paced. Like Lucha Libre wrestling that I like. You know, sometimes that fast-paced action, you know, it's a little helter-skelter and can get wild a little bit, but sometimes you can get some really special plays. Stolen on the fast break, almost poked from behind. Schroeder, he thought about it. Kicks it back out. That's the end of the third quarter. Wow. End of the third quarter, we're knotted up at 84. I know you probably were expecting to be up by hopefully 8 to 10, but just being on the road, you knew it could be tough, especially if Steph plays well and the energy. Because you got to think the Warriors have some of the best fans as far as being loud, no matter if they're good or bad. Like, you know, they have the fans that definitely bring probably the most energy out of any fan base in the NBA as far as like per person. They're probably the loudest, but obviously Thunder fans are quite loud at home too. Paisley's in here now. He's like, I got to watch this fourth quarter with Dad. Yeah. The greats always make it look easy. You know, that's how it was with Magic and Bird and Jordan, and how we've seen it with LeBron, right? And even SGA, you know, you just see him, you know, it just seems like everything seems so effortless. He does it so smoothly, and that's what the greats do. You know, they do it on a high level, but with a little bit of pizzazz and flair. You know, Scottie Pippen had his own little swagger. Jordan, you know, everyone had their kind of vibe. And obviously, this guy changed the game. All right, 84-84, baby. Make me go to BK, huh? We're going to have snow here pretty soon for like 3 or 4 days. I don't know how much, you know, probably just a few inches or whatever, but it'll be fun to take Paisley out there. Sunday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We will see. I got to make sure I got plenty of supplies. Now they just really love promoting Kelsey, huh? But he's likable. He's an OG too to his brother for Travis. Like, there was a video that I watched yesterday or the day before, and it was talking about when Travis and Jason were both at Cincinnati at college, and you know, Travis was partying and got kicked off the team, and you know, Jason had to vouch for him to be able to get his job back, you know, so that way he would have a chance to, you know, go to the NFL and get drafted and whatnot. And so if Jason wasn't there, you know, we wouldn't even be talking about Travis Kelce today. Facts. That's a good brother. Good fucking energy. Let's go. All right, man. Here we go. Fourth quarter. Show me. Top of the key three. In and out. No good. Yeah, fuck this interview. Let's just go. Let me see big screen. There we go. Top of the key. In and out. No good. Out of bounds. $89-86 Warriors. Oh my. It's going to be interesting how this is like wrapped here in the fourth quarter. And if there is a timeout that needs to be, to stop a run, will the coach do it in time? Curry, deep three. God. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Steph. Okay. Floater. Get up there, Hartenstein. He kind of gives me those Klingon vibes and whatnot. I mean, Klingon's more of a defender, but backdoor cut, lefty in and good. Wow. Oh, GP2. Knotted up at 89. Hartenstein, pick and roll. Traveled, but they didn't call it. In and out, no good. Thunder, offensive rebound, corner three again. In and out, no good. Hartenstein with another rebound. Thunder, top of the key three. And good. Buried it finally. And that's why the Thunder are so good, is like if you can get 2, 3, 4, 5 fucking chances after a missed basket. I mean, how many teams can do that in the NBA? Like maybe 5, 10? It's not the whole 30. I'll tell you that. Offensive foul. Oh my. Fucking charge. 91-89 Thunder. I got a really dope ESPN trivia one that has like props that you have to use, but I let my my best friend Justin take it for that way that he could play with his brother or if his dad, because obviously him and his dad are pretty tight. And I was like, hey, just see your dad's old school like my dad, like fucking play that and see how awesome it is. And he told me like about I don't know, maybe a week after I gave it to him, they got a chance to play, and he said it's fucking dope. So when I go on a road trip, if we end up getting like a room or whatever, definitely, get into like a game for, maybe like an hour. Usually it's like, got to eat food or drink beer or, sightsee or go to the game or enjoy the like high end bed because it's like super comfy with like an 80-inch TV and watch whatever with a view. But 91-89 Thunder. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me as a kid, Candyland, that was the first one that I fucking loved, and that was like, very, very early on. And then, any version of Monopoly, and the Monopolies are pretty cool now because a lot of them are themed, so you can get like Goonies Monopoly, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Monopoly, Harry Potter Monopoly. Like, there's pretty much something that they'll probably have. Oregon Ducks Monopoly. That kind of shit is cool. Like, I like being able to see like variation, Star Wars Monopoly or whatever, Stranger Things Monopoly. But they obviously do it with other games as well. But it's kind of cool to be able to have that regular game, but then it gives you that extra, like motivation to play it because it's like something different and new, right? Peyton and Eli. They used to have this electronic basketball game that you would have with these like plastic orange basketballs, and then you would have a little platform that you'd pull back on your finger, and then the ball would shoot into the hoop, and it would have like cool electronic sounds if you ended up making the shot and you would play against a friend. I never owned that, but I went to a friend's house that had it, and that thing was fucking awesome. Besides playing video games and like Madden 95 and NHL 94 and all the badass games on Genesis back then, but to play that was like, to me, the coolest. But I never owned one myself. But very cool. You remember that shit? You remember someone that had it. You know, it might have not been you or me, but, you know, unless you guys were able to have one. But I was like, man, this thing is fucking cool, man. And then obviously, if you grew up back in that era having one of the mini hoops, I had a Michael Jordan mini hoop, you know, with the orange back, you know, rim, and Michael Jordan kind of cut out of the background of him, like his head and upper body, and then breakaway rim with the little net, and then you had your little Nerf ball and, you know, orange and whatnot, and you pretend to be Michael Jordan or whoever your favorite player was, and get a lot of shots in the bedroom. Like, you know, sometimes you're in there shooting for like hours. Anyone that grew up with a little basketball hoop in their room will tell you. You know, and they've evolved now. You see those movies, videos, and documentaries, and you see those people that make clips where they have like kind of the high-end indoor hoops that are for kids, you know, or meant to be just like, you know, for fun in a room. Those are insane. Like, I've seen some that actually have a fucking scoreboard and shit like lights up and talks. Like, I was like, damn, that's like super dope. That's like rich kid stuff. But I was like, damn, I want to be just shooting hoops in my room, just fucking off while I watch a show. And it's got like, they have ones that have like TV screens in the back, and they've really evolved. They're nuts. Wow, Curry for 3 is good. Oh, ridiculous. Oh my, Jesus. $18 for Steph. Got to keep that, you know, under 25 if you want to win. Jumper is good. There we go. 93-92 Thunder. Isaiah Joe and company. Steph at the top of the key. He's definitely feeling himself. You can tell. Feels very comfortable, in good rhythm. Another jab, step 3, in and out, no good. I mean, every shot is like in and out. It's like right on. Rejected from behind. Wow. What vision. SGA fast break. Pass outside, unselfish. Good ball movement. And then that was a bad wild pass there late, turnover. Can't do that. Come on, Thunder. You can't turn the ball over like that. You gotta have better possessions there. Every possession matters. Yeah, Steph, I mean, is shooting from everywhere. You know, half court, 3/4 court, you know, 5 feet behind the line. He can jab step and go, you know, 10 feet behind the free, and it's like no big deal, just as everyone else is like a foot right behind the line. You know, he's got the comfort level. I mean, he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. So, but it also helps that his dad was Del Curry. He was in the NBA. He was a good shooter, but he was just a role player. You know, like a Hersey Hawkins. Like, they were good and we remember them, but they weren't like, oh, like all-star, Hall of Fame. They were just good role players, you know, on the teams that they were on. Steph got the good genes from Dell. 94-93 Warriors. We're going to definitely miss his presence in the NBA when he's gone. I mean, one of the bright spots. Steph to the bench. That might be good for you, Captain, and Thunder fans. The longer you can have him on the bench, the better. 4 for 6. And again, you know, it seems like he's like wouldn't really want him out of the game right now. Like, just let him play the rest of the game. But we'll see if this calculated decision is good or not. And obviously, Kerr is basing it off that the game is still going to be close, and they won't be down by like 8 when Curry goes back in. SGA, a little reach in, no call. Warriors very aggressive. Corner 3. Front rim, in and out, no good. Offensive rebound, top of the key. Jumper, in and out, no good. I mean, Thunder fighting like hell for rebounds, but you got to get a better shot than that. Fast break now, 4-on-2. Post up. Working a triangle here. Schroeder, corner three. In and out, no good. Good rebound there by the Thunder. Now just SGA has to be able to deliver. Catch and shoot, in and out, no good. Warriors with the board. Got to go SGA soon. Otherwise, you don't want it to get too out of hand. 96-93. And sometime between now and the 5-minute mark, they need a timeout to discuss. Lost it. Grab that ball. There you go. Turnover. Thunder. Fast break. Push. 2-on-3 and didn't even capitalize. Nice pass. Wow, what a dime. 3, in and out, no good. Inside. There you go. Ah, fuck. Can't believe he missed that. So close. Fast break. Lefty and good. Wow. Just like that. And that's how, so quickly, where you can have a layup that you should have made, you miss it, and then down the other end, they get a cheapie. You know, whether guys are cherry picking or not, right? Fouled, no call for SGA. Warriors, fast break, 1-on-1, and a foul. Schroeder trying to get an and one, even though it wasn't close. Momentum is a motherfucker, and you can also tell, where you feel like you're getting cheated by the refs. You know, you talk about that in Chief games, but you feel like if you watch the NBA and you watch your favorite team, even with a guy that might be the best player in the NBA, he's not getting the Jordan, LeBron, Kobe calls. I mean, I just point out what I'm watching, right? That's what makes it enjoyable for me, because I have no agenda. I can just watch it, enjoy it. But Schroeder and Andrew Wiggins, their athleticism with Steph still being able to shoot can keep them in quite a few games. Free throw is missed. And obviously, Schroeder and Wiggins missing more shots while Steph is on the bench will be ideal. But again, right now, giving Steph a few minutes of rest so he can play the last 5. And they got a 3-point lead right now. Oh, Steve Kerr is cooking right now. But again, in a blink of an eye, maybe we can get a run here with OKC. Schroeder, huh? Uh-oh. $195, Golden State. You got to be very effective and smart here. I don't like that 3 by SGA. Everyone is looking to pounce right now. Wiggins and company. Schroeder. Oh, boy. Wiggins. Hartenstein, SGA. And also they need, someone that has more awareness. So when SGA plays with Chet, he can roll to the basket and you can get an and one or a dunk or a layup. They don't really have someone for SGA to bounce off of besides Chet Holmgren. And once he comes back, then the team goes to the next level. Because that's one part of the Thunder that needs to be better. That really strong number 2 player. Wiggins with the floater. Podziemski. Brandon. 102-97 Warriors. SGA with that floater. 47 for SGA. They're like, oh. He's like, I got to make sure if NWSF is doing the game, I got to put up a show. I got to make sure he's interested for the rest of the season. Wiggins, top of the key. Good fronting there on that defense. Shot clock winding down. Thunder. Isolation, 1-on-1. Oh, my. Wow. What a money shot right there. When you can get, someone to be a lefty and a shooter and they're not afraid, man, it's like a street ball. You don't expect them. Left hand, no good. We're going to the line, SGA. But, it's like when you get these players that, are like the 6-man or they're just shooters, role players. They're not. He did push off there, but again, just to be able to get that separation. Wow. SGA trying to make these free throws. 104-98 Warriors. SGA got to make these free throws, dude. critical now. 104-98. You're down by 6. 4 minutes to go. You've been dominated since the third quarter. You know, first half you won it. Second half they're winning it. What's the deal here? Let's go. I mean, SGA's at 48, but it's not going to mean shit if he scores 55 and they lose. I mean, it's a great, like, oh, wow, stat line, but they need a dub. Stat line and dub. Schroeder. Good defense there by OKC. Push off. Wow, holy fuck. The Warriors are getting so incredibly lucky with their shots. Like, Anderson and all of these players are shooting, like, out of their mind. Like, the percentage of, like, to be able to make that shot is, like, 10%, and they're making it. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. 104-98 Warriors. I mean, they are really getting lucky on some of those shots. Like, if they would have shot that shot 10 times, maybe they make it once, but they're making it. Oh boy. 104-98 Warriors. SGA almost at 50. What is he at? 48? Let's take a peek. Yep, 48. 48, baby. Williams with 19. Joe with 17, but they need more. And then for the Warriors, what do we got? Wiggins, 24. Curry, 18. GP2, 11. Looney, 16 off the bench. Porzingis, Brandon with those left-handed, no-fear jumpers, 11. And that's kind of been the difference. It's like, you know, sometimes it's that one player that you're not accounting for, and then they start making a couple late fucking jumpers and shit. You're like, oh, fuck. But there's still time. 104-98. Golden State. My pup is in here right now, too. He's watching the fourth. Let's go. Last chance. I mean, that's really the difference. I mean, if we're actually looking at the points, because it's like, okay, GP2, you know, maybe around 10 points-ish, you know, he's usually going to get that pretty frequently. You know what players are typically going to do it for you. But, you know, as good as the Thunder, you know, is, best team, best defense, arguably best player in SGA, they need Chet Holmgren, you know, as the number 2 guy, you know, so that way that they can bounce off of him when SGA gets in foul trouble or is in a slump. And then when they want to run a 2-man game to end the game, that they can, you know, run a pick and roll effectively. And then, you know, they can run a, you know, alley-oop, or, you know, it could be a pass in the air or a bounce pass. And then, you know, Chet will be able to dunk it, you know, alley-oop it, or he'll be able to, you know, up and under, layup. Like, you don't really have anyone on the team that can do what Chet does. So super important to get him back whenever he is able to, because that could be the difference between winning it all and losing it in the Western Conference Finals, or more importantly, the NBA Finals. He's got 48. The rest of the team has 50, but they need Chet. It's very evident, man. Like, I love this team, but, you know, it's like that one link in the chain that needs to be there. And Chet is fucking fun to watch. Like, he's like a Wemby, you know? It's like you don't really know what you're going to get every game. They're just tall and lanky and athletic, and you just have no idea. But it's fun to watch. Nice baseline pass. Good defense there by the Warriors. Shot clock winding down. Fouled over the back. No call, though. Wow. But, you know, that's what makes it so impressive. You're still the number 1 team, number 1 defense. But, again, you need a solid 2. Like, you know, Jalen Williams is good, but it's like you need someone that's trustworthy every fucking game like SGA. Side of the backboard. Shot clock violation. That is not good. All right, Steve Kerr with the timeout. Still time, man. You just need to be able to cut this lead down from 6 points to 4. Like you want to be around 4 if it ends up being 4 with like a minute 30 to go. So that way, if you can slow the game down with free throws with SGA, but obviously, ideally, if you can be tied or maybe they're up by 2 with like a minute to go, then you feel like okay, it could go either way. So again, you have to baby step it, just based on the flow of the game. You did really good in the first half. They've dominated the second half. You slowed the momentum a little bit, but not enough where it feels like you can win this game. It kind of feels like right now it's 80-20 Warriors. So you got to make sure that you bring that percentage closer to 50-50, but it all depends here in the next, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then we'll see what we're at score-wise. And they're BKing me the fuck out of me tonight, huh? $4.99 melt, trying to make me go to a fucking Burger King, huh? Not going to happen, but I have been craving a burger, though. But it probably won't be from Burger King if I order one. All right, baby. Looney with the free throw, 1 of 2, 105-98. I mean, it's starting to feel like it might be out of hand. But if Chet was playing, SGA won't be at 48, but then the game's closer. But Steph hasn't really been cooking. He's 5 for 13, but enough getting hot in the second half for them to get on a run. The Steph Curry effect. Looney makes another free throw. Now they're up by 8. Got to cut this down to 4 with a minute 30. I'm telling you, if it's 4 minute 30, you're going to have a chance. If it's any more than 4 at a minute 30, probably not. Just based off the flow of the game. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, if I can get a fresh Whopper, fresh onion rings, and like a strawberry shake or something like that, oh, fuck yeah, man. I remember back in the day, I could get a Whopper for 99 cents. It was like Whopper, large onion ring and a large strawberry shake. And I shit you not, it was like $3. And it was like insane, like how big the cups were and the portions, and the burger itself is like 2 or 3 times as big as it was now. It was monster burger for a $1. It was like an equivalent to like one of the like high end burgers that you would be paying like $8 or more for. Big block. Looney showing his defensive prowess. Getting the standy O from the Warrior crowd. Four blocks for Looney, making a difference. Showing the number 1 defensive team in the NBA a little bit of their own medicine. Hartenstein, be smart here. Good pass. Top of the key, no good. I don't like that shot. Jalen Williams. 106-101 Warriors. 4 points, minute 30. That's the key. Two-man game. Good ball movement by the Thunder. All right, Jalen Williams. I'm trying to keep this game close. (109, 103), 6-point game. Curry. Schroeder. Offensive foul. Dort with the good prowess. The good awareness. You got to have defensive players like that. 109, 105. Golden State. 4 points, minute 30. You're at a minute 46. My ESP is strong, bro. I've been watching basketball for a long, long time, and you can kind of think of flow of the game. But again, now 110, no, 112, 105. Now it's 7. Really got to step it up, man. Wiggins trying to fucking end it. He said ice water in my fucking veins. Like, you just think, oh, Wiggins is washed, and then he does some shit like this. Because he ain't. Wow, Curry with the deep three. Holy moly. Curry with the deep three. Wiggins in the ring. Oh, my. Jumper is good. Wiggins says it don't matter. I can do exactly what you do, Steph. 112-105. Warriors. Damn it, man. This might be over, dude. Just the shooting has been too much in the second half. Like, you kicked their ass in the first half, and second half has just been all them. And then the shitty thing is your defense actually hasn't been bad. They've just been making, like, insane fucking shots with great defense. So that's what makes it kind of worse, is like you're actually playing well on defense and they're just getting lucky, making these insane shots. Wow. Schroeder hitting the deck, drawing fouls, 114-107 Warriors. You just needed them to fucking be real and just like miss a couple fucking shots, like a little ridiculous. But again, this is Golden State, and we've seen them with Clay, without Clay, and obviously with Steph playing. And you've seen like Wiggins step up, Schroeder, you feel energy guys. If you have energy guys, and they got three of them, Schroeder, Wiggins, Steph, and they're all hot, this is what you get. Wow, what a fucking pass and a fucking flush. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Oh, shit. When you get a poster dunk late, not ideal. There we go. SGA not getting any fucking foul calls on the road. If he's like the best player in the league, they're not giving him the Kobe calls. I mean, he's getting calls as if he's a guy that maybe has made an all-star game, but, like maybe a top 25 player. Oh, wow. Steph with the deep three. Even when the shit doesn't count, he makes it. Ridiculous. Yeah. 50 burger. Oh, it's okay. We'll do, are you available for Kraken tomorrow? So that's what I was planning on doing. Because I can do East-West Shrine game at 5 or Kraken and Sharks at 7:30. So I was going to do the Kraken and Sharks. And then Friday, probably NBA. Saturday, Senior Bowl will be on, but we'll do Royal Rumble. Maybe Senior Bowl and Royal Rumble, or Royal Rumble. I don't know. Depends on my pup. Free throw is good. 116-107 Warriors. Okay. So Kraken Sharks will be tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific. And I think we will win. We got to. JaKorda will be in net. There's no alternative like losing. We cut Grew. We need to be able to, have something positive happen for the franchise after that cut. So. Yeah. Absolutely, man. But like I said, this is a game that you are, noticing that if you play this team 10 times, they're 23-23. You probably would win like 7 out of 10 or, 6 out of 10. But this particular game, the Warriors, played incredible. Obviously shooting wise in that second half. Like if you don't shoot, like it literally feels like they shot like 70% or 80%. Right? Like, obviously we'll see the real statistic in the number, but it just seems like even when the shots were on a difficulty level of like a 9 or a 10, and if you would shoot that shot 10 times, maybe you make it once, but they were making it. Like fadeaway jumpers, corner threes with defenders in their face, like, just playing with like, it felt like everyone was a Steph Curry for Golden State. And, when that happens, even when you're the number one team in the NBA, you don't win. Wiggins 27, Curry 21, Looney 18 in those big blocks, GP 2 with 15, and you even had some other guys on the bench with those jumpers late that were the difference. 116-109 Golden State. Yeah, well, assuming he'll go down to Coachella, and then at some point after that we would maybe get rid of him. Wow, Curry just trying to dribble it out. This is wild. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're happy. This is it. No more. Yeah. And this is not being like a whiny Thunder fan. This is coming from, me watching this game. You guys didn't get any calls. Like SGA, and it's one thing not to, get the SGA superstar call, but you need to get the regular foul calls. And they definitely were, letting the Warriors get the momentum. And there definitely was some, drives by SGA, where the refs definitely didn't give them the calls with the body. That could have been and one, or slowed the game down to get more free throws to get that point total up to maybe closer to 60 for SGA. But, that's what happens in the NBA, just like in the NFL, sometimes, and in the MLB. We've seen it with the Mariners, right? Sometimes we get the calls with our pitchers, and sometimes they're fucking terrible. And it's like we got a bunch of goddamn Angel Hernandez fucking umps out there just screwing our pitching staff over. We can't hit anyways, so we need to make sure the pitching is at least called fairly, and, we know how that goes. Jerry, he says, good morning, good afternoon, good night. That's his first message. Good night. 116-109, good night. But the Thunder are still the best team in the NBA. Yeah, me too. And we got to watch that together as a memory, and it definitely, you could see my basketball knowledge, the importance of, having Chet, like in this type of game, like how big that would be, defensively, rebounds, blocks, like him actually being able to probably get to 15 or 20 points. Maybe that's the difference. So hopefully he'll have that health, but what a performance. 31.5 by SGA. Yes. That was a fun game. I wish you could have won, obviously, because that's the whole point of me doing the stream is, trying to find the best NBA matchup. It ended up being this one. Thought it could be a fun one to watch. It was, but definitely would have been better if we would have got the OKC victory as the number one team. Obviously, this win would mean more to them than necessarily the Warrior win, but the Warrior win puts them above 500, so I guess meaningful for them and for Steph Curry. But right here, 52, baby. Well, I'm going to go take Paisley on a long walk. It's almost 10 p.m. here, Pacific, as they interview Chef Curry. And I got to eat some dinner as well. Tomorrow, we will be live for the Kraken, 7:30 Pacific against the San Jose Sharks. Excited about that. We'll talk a little Royal Rumble. We'll talk a little NFL. We'll talk, obviously, NHL. Should be fun. And then Friday, probably NFL stream, for an hour or two, just to talk about a little Q&A going into the Super Bowl, talking about the Chiefs and the Eagles. And then Saturday, we got the Senior Bowl as well as WWE Royal Rumble. Be fucking here. It'll be awesome. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to all the people that came through that liked, subbed, donated, commented, and shared. Shout out to Daniel, Captain, and Captain, helping us out with some of the donos, as well as Sarah and Captain with the likes and the donos. Appreciate you. And final score, Warriors 116, Thunder 109. Still the best team in the NBA, so you don't have to worry about that. See you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. We talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Thank you. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow too, hopefully. And I am out. Bye.